So let's have a look at stage 14. Stage 14 is especially going to focus us on adjectives. As you probably already learned in your English classes, in grammar, adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns. So, like in this picture, we could say the angry slave, where angry is an adjective describing slave. In English, adjectives are, we can tell what noun an adjective is modifying, usually by how close it is to the noun. But in Latin, because Latin's inflected, we say the adjectives change their ending to match the noun they describe. So we wouldn't say the angry slave, we would say servus iteratus. And you'll notice that in Latin, a lot of adjectives actually come after the noun they're modifying, not before it. So in the sentence here, servus iratus non laborat. The slave does not work or is not working. And then servus tells us what kind of slave it is. We know iratus goes with servus because they both have that us ending. Or in this sentence, Dominus fesso servo premium dedit. The master gave a premium, a reward, to the tired slave. We know that the adjective fesso, that means tired, we know it describes the slave and not the master because the endings match. Fesso servo. Or agricola ignavum servum punavit. The farmer punished the cowardly slave. We know that it's the slave who is cowardly, not the farmer, because the endings match here. When an adjective changes its ending like that, we say it agrees with the noun it's describing. And in Latin, adjectives must agree in number, case, and gender. They must agree in numbers. So in other words, if the noun is singular, the adjective needs to be singular. They also need to agree and they have to have the same case and they need to match in gender. So I cannot say servus irata. These two words don't go together because their genders don't match. Or servus irati. Here the genders match. They're both masculine, except their numbers are different. Servus is singular, but irati is plural. So these two words don't go together. Or here, servus irato. The numbers match, right? They're both singular. They're both masculine from what we can tell, but their cases don't match. Servus is a nominative. Irato is either a dative or an ablative. So irato can't modify servus there. They need to agree in number, case, and gender. Servus iratus. For what we're doing right now, the way we'll normally see that is that the endings will look exactly alike. That won't always be the case, especially with third declension nouns, but we'll have other ways to tell then. So let's just jump to the story. We'll do some of the reading here. When you do the translations, you should write out a translation for all the sentences, and also make sure you translate the parts that are in italics here. So I'm on page 24, and it starts with unum multae amphorae sunt in plaustro. Varica. Phile, porta hanc amphoram in vilam. Philus. Amphoram magna est. Difficile est mihi magnam amphoram portare. Varica. Cur. Philus. Quod ego sum senex. Duo. Varica geminos in aria conspicit. Varica. Loquax, antiloquax, portate hanc amphoram in vilam. Loquax. Amphora gravis est. Difficile est nobis amphoram gravem portare. Varica. Cur. Loquax. Quod nos sumus pueri. So I'm just going to look at those first two and help with those. There's a third one, but you can do that on your own. So we can go back to this top here where it says multi amphorae sunt in plaustro. So we can see amphorae, I would just translate that as amphora, which is this, this jar here. You'll notice that the jars are pointy at the end, which you would think would make them harder to actually to carry and move around. The reason they're pointy at the end like that is amphora were often used to carry liquid things, and like wine or olive oil. And what this would do is allow anything, any sediment or anything inside the liquid to just settle at the bottom here and just collect here. And so then when you went to pour it, it was all down in here. It wouldn't get mixed up again with the liquid in there. So the Romans had special containers, special ways to haul them around. And again, if you haul them in a group like this, you can kind of squish them all together. But we can see that multi and amphorae go together because they match in number, case, and gender. So many amphora sunt in plaustro, and plaustro just it means cart or something. It's a cart with four wheels like this. Wagon is another good translation for plaustro. And so when you translate, make sure to write it out like a play. So Varaka says, phile, it's a good vocative, right? Talking to Phyllis. Phile, here's a good imperative. Porta, carry, hanc amphoram in vilam. So here, the noun, he wants him to carry this noun. We can see it's an accusative, it's a direct object. And then hanc is the adjective. It's acting like an adjective to modify amphoram. Which amphora? This amphora. Carry this amphora in vilam. So vila, this is obviously vila. It's in the accusative, and again, in with the accusative, we would say into. Carry this amphora into the villa. And Phyllis says, amphora magna est, right? Once again, here's my noun and the adjective. They magna magnifies, or I'm sorry, magnifies. It modifies amphora. So he says, we probably add the word the, right? The amphora is large. Difficile est mihi magnam amphoram portare. And Varaka wants to know cur. And Phyllis says, quod, because ego, I, sum senex. So you can probably like skip a line or something. And then in italics it says, Varaka geminos in aria conspicit. Varaka, I like catches sight of. He catches sight of the geminos, the twins in aria. So you can say in the area, and that works really well. Varaka says, loquax, antiloquax. Portate hanc amphoram in vilam. So here, up in sentence 1, he used the singular imperative. Portate is the plural imperative. I want both y'all to carry hanc amphoram in vilam. Loquax says, amphora gravis est. So here we have a first declension noun with a third declension adjective. They match though. They match in number, case, and gender. These are both singulars. They're both in the nominative, and they match in gender, although third declension adjectives like this can be any gender. So because of their proximity though, we know gravis goes with amphora. So Loquax says, the amphora is gravis, it is heavy. Difficile est nobis amphoram gravem portare. So here we can see once again, these match. We know that gravem is modifying amphora. And here we have an easier clue, right? They both end in M. We can see these are both accusatives. Varaka again asks why, and Loquax tells him cur nos, because we sumus pueri. So y'all can do, you can do the third one on your own, and you can turn that in for me.